this archive shows a lot of light cases of people who were just member of National Socialist Party, and they do not fit in the idea of the violent Nazi that you know from Hollywood movies. Probably one of the most consulted Second World War collections at the moment already, because it contains a lot of information, not only about the suspects, but also about the victims. And therefore, historically speaking, it's a very important archive already, and it's a huge gold mine for information on the Second World War.
How are collaborators regarded in Holland? Are they regarded as people who just did what they had to do to get by, or are they regarded as figures of shame? What's the public view now on the question of collaboration?
I think, generally speaking, figures of shame, but this archive shows a lot of light cases of people who were just member of National Socialist Party, and they do not fit in the idea of the violent Nazi that you know from Hollywood movies. So I think people accessing this archive are always afraid of the worst, but they usually discover that their family member is a light case or things like that.
Have you had concerns though from people saying, I just don't want people to know? I mean, if they are figures of shame, do people say, look, I don't want to know, but more importantly, I don't want other people to know that my grandfather may have done this?
Yeah, of course, it's a very it's a very sensitive archive, and we are also in contact with, for instance, family members of collaborators, and we know that for them it's a huge thing, of course, that this will be put open online and made searchable in a way that's not possible at the moment. But yeah, it's still a very taboo subject in the Netherlands, collaboration, and we hope that this archive will open up this debate and will make it part of the public debate, which has not happened really so far, even 80 years after.
And what might that debate be? Might it be simply that some things happened and people did what they did to survive? The question, that sort of ethical question of what you would do in that situation. It's very easy for us at this remove to say, well, I never would have cooperated with the Nazis. I never would have done that. But maybe will it enable people to say, well, here, this was the pressure on the people. It was either their own families become endangered or they collaborate.
Exactly. I think that it will put more nuance in the discussion. I mean, it's 300,000 persons, so that's a lot, and they were suspects, so not all of them have been found guilty. But I think it will put more detail in their motivation to join, for instance, the National Socialist Party. And yeah.
But that point there about there are claims not necessarily proven, that's just one other ethical issue to worry about, isn't it? Because there was that case of the Anne Frank book, wasn't there, which talked about who may have been the person who revealed the Anne Frank family, and there's lots of controversy around that because that hadn't necessarily been established. And you're dealing with claims here, and these claims could have been malicious. Are you worried that a family name will be blackened because of some sort of malicious claim made 83 years ago that's never been proven and can't now be proven in any way?
Well, for us, it's very important to present the archive in the whole context. So we, since it will be a website, so we will be paying a lot of attention to providing this context and making people aware that somebody who is suspected is not per definition found guilty. So we're trying to help people to understand these files as they are, in a way.